What's up, guys? You are just in time for today's video, and we are at week 9 waiver wire, halfway through the season. Who would have knew? But let's jump right into it. Let's not waste any time. You know how we do. At the quarterback position, if you're still streaming the quarterback position in week 9, God bless you. Again, if you have injuries or if you don't like your matchups, whatever the case may be, these are a couple guys you can choose from. For starters, let's talk about Jameis Winston. Eat these W's with Jameis. He plays the Chargers this week. He had 300 yards passing and 3 touchdowns in his first start in a couple of years, and he's picking up where he left off. Gunslinger mentality. He's going to get you the yardage. No matter the team, Jameis is Jameis. If you want someone more reliable and less likely to turn the ball over, you can look at Sam Darnold, who's playing the Colts. He's going to have his full weapons fully healthy. Jordan Addison, Justin Jefferson, TJ Hockenson should be back. Aaron Jones, he seems to be defined for all the time, just like Derrick Henry. Sam Darnold is a nice play this week against a struggling Colts defense. If we're talking about healthy weapons, we got to talk about Matthew Stafford and the Rams. He gets Puka back. He gets Cooper Kupp back. He gets his weapons back. He has a full slate of weapons. Kyron Williams out of the backfield. Offense is going to make a lot of noise in coming the next few weeks, and his offensive line is also getting healthy. Doesn't really matter who he's playing, but this week he's playing the Seahawks, so you can feel extra confident playing Matthew Stafford. At the running back position, just like last week, there's not a lot of heavy hitters at the running back, so you kind of want to just go for depth. First, Raheem Mostert. He might not be available on your waiver wire, and in most leagues, he probably isn't. But again, just take a little peek. Not only is he a high-end handcuff to Devon Achane, but he has in certain games standalone flex value. He is the goal line back in his offense. Once this offense goes back to being a top 10 offense, Raheem Mostert will have standalone value on a week-to-week basis. Now, the 49er backfield is going to get tricky, especially with the bye weeks. It's difficult to hold players on your bench that you can't really use at all. But again, CMC is coming back week 10, which means you need to pick up his handcuffs. And most people might say, well, I understand Jordan Mason, I have him. He's not available in any league. Jordan Mason went out last week. He re-injured his shoulder, and Isaac Rowendo came in and they didn't skip a beat. This offense did not skip a beat. It doesn't really matter who's at the running back position. This offense is going to whistle. But again, you do need CMC's handcuffs. So yes, Jordan Mason obviously is the first option. But if Isaac Rowendo is available, you need to pick him up just in case. And last but not least, we're going to look at Jaleel McLaughlin. He should be available in most leagues. I mean, why would you want the Denver Broncos, second string running back? They put him in position to succeed. They love his speed. They love getting him the ball out in space. Javonte Williams is obviously the workhorse back. But again, if something happens to Javonte, Jaleel McLaughlin is going to be someone who is going to get you 20 opportunities a game. At the wide receiver position, we already spoke about Jameis, so let's talk about his weapons. Obviously, Cedric Tillman was the waiver wire steal last week. You definitely should go after him. If not, look at guys like Jerry Jeudy and Elijah Moore. Again, if Jameis is running the helm and is your starting quarterback, they're going to be targets available. They're going to be volume available in this offense, and they're not really confident at the running game, so they're going to pass the ball, especially with Jameis, so you want his weapons. Elijah Moore and Jerry Jeudy, if they're available, pick them up. In Jacksonville, there was a lot of injuries to not only Gabe Davis, Christian Kirk, who's out for the year, and Brian Thomas injured his ribs. So who's next on the list? Parker Robinson. Who? It doesn't really matter. It doesn't really matter if you know them or not. Pick him up because he's going to make a name for himself over these next few weeks. Jacksonville, because of their terrible defense, is constantly in catch-up mode, and they're going to have to constantly throw the ball. Pay attention to practice reports, see what's going on with Brian Thomas, and see what's going on with Gabe Davis. But again, if they so happen to miss, who's going to be the wide receiver one? Parker Washington. And the last of the receivers is Kayshon Boutte. Yes, I understand Demario Douglas is plotting the wide receiver one, and he's slowly building a connection with Drake May. Drake May went out last week with a concussion. He might not play this week. If Drake May doesn't play, I'm not going to feel confident, obviously, about playing Kayshon Boutte, but you never know. This could end up being a stash, having the New England Patriots wide receiver one, which is not really a confidence to even say it out loud. But again, Drake May is getting better, just like Bo Nix. Every week he plays on the field, he gets better and better. So having his wide receiver one could have some value later on. And let's talk about the tight ends. Adam Trautman has succeeded as the tight end one in this offense. Adam Trautman is poising himself to be in position to earn volume in this offense. And again, if Courtland Sutton is traded, which he's probably not because the Denver Broncos is starting to get better and better. They're 5-3 and tied for second in the division. But if they decide to trade Courtland Sutton from those missing targets. Another tight end you need to look at is Will Dissly. The Chargers, for whatever reason, just seem to get injuries every single week. The injuries are starting to pile up. And Justin Herbert's number one wide receiver is obviously Larry McConkey. But shortly after on that list is Will Dissly. Josh Palmer is not relevant for whatever reason. Quentin Johnson can't stay on the field. It's not sexy. But if you want someone with a high floor, pick up Will Dissly. And last but not least, at the tight end position, Tyler Conklin. No one really likes this New York Jets offense. But again, he gets volume and he has a highest floor. He's going to get you anywhere between 4 and 6 catches a week. possibly stumble upon the end zone and get you a touchdown, maybe 30 to 40 yards. But at the tight end position, you could do a lot worse than Tyler Conklin. In my stash of the week, I'm going to say Adam Thielen. A lot of people obviously forgot about him. He's on IR right now, so you could pick him up, put him in the IR, and then still pick up someone from the waiver wire. Deontay Johnson is probably getting traded. We've already seen the reports. And Xavier Leggett is not established enough to be the wide receiver one. I'm not saying he's going to be, a top 5 wide receiver, but we did see Adam Thielen succeed with Bryce Young last year. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next week.